Boys and girls, Lions announcement.
Dun, dun, dun.
I know, big week.
Good, isn't it? I like the way they did it.
Not for a player. I reckon it took half an hour for them to announce it.
I was just thinking, we moved on from the days of CFAX. We found out on TV as well, didn't we?
Well, we lucky. Did you have the letter?
Well, we had a letter for the extended squad.
Yeah, didn't you have a letter saying that congratulations, you have been selected to tour with the British and Irish Lions?
Telegram, I reckon.
Letter. If you get picked.
No, we had the letter, but it was delivered by pigeon.
Right, hang on. So, one of the biggest tours that you will ever go on.
Yeah.
Nobody rings you like me.
No.
You just literally sit.
We
had a letter.
We had a letter from the chairman, which was Ray Gravel, I think, at that time, and we were selected for the a squad of about 65.
Right. Okay.
Then we all had to go for a clothes fitting, didn't we?
Yeah.
And
all 65 of you.
Yeah. So to say if you get picked in the final 35, we know your sizes.
Yeah. And I've got to be honest with you, they did measure some people more than others. That's all I'm saying.
You if you get a t-shirt.
If you had your inside leg done, you knew you were probably going on the tour.
I think the way that the British and Irish Lions did it added a little bit of suspense, didn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, you're all watching on telly, although they put it in alphabetical order, which I wasn't expecting because it kind of gives it away a little bit.
How do they get them on Zoom as well? Do they tell everyone? Everyone had to be ready.
Can you imagine? Because I can't get like more than 3 people on Zoom at one time, and you can get in like 38 people and 2 people that aren't going. What about those 2? Have you ever known a side to be selected and go, there's still 2 spots?
No.
You do it?
No, I don't. Yeah. No.
You know, it's so funny. So you're going, are they going to take him? Aren't they going to take him? Have they measured him up? Yeah. Who knows?
Well, I think the other thing is that Maro Itoje, obviously captain, and he...
Can I just say...
Go on.
Have you ever seen anything more cool than a captain with a pearl earring? Have you seen, he walked on and I went, oh my God, he's got Bill in his right hand, he's looking cool as hell, he's just the most amazing, and he looks like a pirate. He's got the pearl earring.
They win that series, that'll be upgraded to a diamond.
The topical question at the moment is, could 100 men or women take on a gorilla, a silverback?
At what? Spelling?
Fighting.
I'd lose that one.
I'd
lose that one. Spelling. I'd fight then.
Yeah.
Why is this a topic?
I don't know.
That's a great question.
So hang on. I do Instagram and things like that. Where's this trending? Because I'm not seeing it.
Well, you're on gardening stuff, aren't you? You're on apps that tell you what a tree is.
Well, Lol's on cooking, and I'm on gardening.
Okay, 100 men or women, could they kill a gorilla?
Well,
bare knuckle, like.
I've seen 100 people around Jason Leonard. My money's on Jason Leonard.
Mike Tyson once.
Hey, in the gorilla world, they're going, do you think 100 gorillas would kill Jason Leonard? And they're all going, don't be so stupid. Have you seen the size of him?
Mike Tyson once reportedly offered to pay like 10 grand to a zookeeper to fight a silverback. I reckon if they had a structured plan, 100 men or women could kill a gorilla, I reckon.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. But there will be collateral. There'll be collateral.
Have you seen the size of them?
Okay, so in the collateral, how many are you losing in that?
We'll lose Scott and Lol.
I'd like to see the first couple of men go.
Because they're going in first.
You go first. You go first.
You'd have to have a look as well. Is it an Austin Healey size gorilla or is it an Esteban size gorilla?
I think it's like fully grown.
An Austin Healey is a chimp.
If you shave their hair, they wouldn't be as frightening. They wouldn't be as big. A bit like Shabal.
I don't know. You're looking a bit frightening.
Like Shabal. If you took the hair off Shabal, he wouldn't be as scary.
But Shabal was at Sel Shark's dinner on Friday, and he's nowhere near as big as I remember.
Oh, Shabal?
Yeah.
100 men should be able to take down a silverback, but you wouldn't want to be the first 10 to go.
No. Yeah, I reckon at least first 15, 20, done.
Well,
he's younger than us.
We've got the young buck, the young lion, the young cub today, Henry Pollock.
20.
Is he?
He was born in 2005. I retired in 2005. I haven't played a professional game of rugby since he's born.
He might not know who you are.
He probably won't.
I played
unless he's seen Stella.
Oh, he will. He will by the end.
If he sees Stella, then he may know who I am.
Right.
I played 21 minutes of a Lions tour in 2005, and then broke my leg. Let's hope it goes a bit better for Pollock. You make your Prem Cup debut, you make your Premiership debut, Champions Cup debut, England A debut, scored 2 tries, and now you're a Lion.
You're the Luke Littler of rugby.
That is so...
Oh, is he too cocky? I don't know. A great rugby player that doesn't have that side to him.
Before the announcement, you're thinking about kind of proving yourself to get picked, and then once the squad's been announced, it's more kind of proving why you got picked.
Did they play before Henry was born?
Before Henry's parents were born. No.
You walk into your room, there's a kit bag there, and it's the Lions kit, and you just go, wow.
There was a 200-kilo python, right? David James ended up with a head, and this head turned to Dav, and that's all he heard was, ah!
We wanted to put a statement down, when we're not here to get run over like Glasgow or Harlequins unfortunately did. He has this portable bamboo bed. What? I was 19 at the time, and I was looking over going, this is a bit weird. Yeah.
Right, welcome to Stick to Rugby. Now, being the number one podcast in rugby these days, we could do nothing else than deliver the main man, the man that's training more than 100 men versus a gorilla. It is Henry Pollock. Welcome to the show.
Very much. Thanks, guys.
Congratulations!
The youngest Lion, and
Yeah.
so we're going to talk all about what's happened to you over the last 12 months very shortly. But first, we've got our local delicacies. Pizzetta Parigina, made by Rosella, which means pieces for the Queen. And I think they are tomatoes, mozzarella, there's a bit of prosciutto in there.
Basically, they're a posh sandwich, aren't they? They're a puff pastry sandwich.
They're a very posh sandwich.
Yeah.
Because they're Italian.
Oh, but they're
and then, I know you don't believe that I made these, but these are brownies and brookies, right?
They're good.
Made with Kinder Bueno. So please all get stuck into that.
I know what a brownie is. What's a brookie?
A brookie is a cookie and a brownie together, so it's double layered.
See what you've done then.
So you make them.
Nice.
No, I didn't do it. It was named well before me. Jack made them, but it's a brownie and then a cookie on top.
Ooh,
They're nice, though, Lol. Well
They
done.
are good.
Yeah.
And by all means, help yourselves. Right, before we get into the show, we've got a little quiz.
We've got a game. We haven't got a quiz
we've
today.
moved
We've
on
got a
to a
game. So we're going to play another classic, Who Am I?
Okay.
Good, fine, you can play. Yes and no questions, other than if you're asking your position. You've got 5 questions each to guess who your Lions player is.
Okay.
Shanks, you're going to go first. You're going to flip your card. You're going to hold it on your head. And then you've got 5 questions that we will answer.
You've got 5 questions.
Okay.
To ask.
Then we have to answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Shanks is trying to guess.
I wonder if it's a stick.
Don't cheat. On that
You've done it before.
I've got a lot of surface area.
That's because you've got
Fine, question, come on, Shanks.
Okay,
you've got a
Scotty.
50p head. That's why.
Scotty, am I a back?
Yeah.
It's a quick game, Scott.
Yeah.
Okay. Katy, am I Scottish?
No.
Did I go on a tour from 97 onwards, Lawrence?
Yes, you did.
Okay.
Oh, you're having a shock.
Thank God you asked him that.
And me, because I didn't.
Henry, have you heard of me?
Yeah. Yeah.
What about this guy?
That's good.
Okay, am I Scott Gibbs?
No.
No.
Neil Jenkins?
No.
Colin Travis?
No.
Shane Williams?
Shane Williams.
Yeah.
That was 20.
Yeah.
Scott, over to you.
Am I a forward?
No.
I don't know then. I'd never talk to backs. What Lions tour did I go on?
93.
Hang on, there was no.
You went in 89 and 93.
Yes.
89 and 93.
And 86.
Yes.
And
And
86.
but
Whatever that game was.
Who's doing this? Jack, there was no tour. I thought it was just a one-off game.
Your dad played it in 86, so there definitely was something.
No, 80 Lions. My dad played. Okay, am I Irish?
No.
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 God, that's the wrong one.
2 more.
Am I outside half? Am I outside half?
No.
You don't know. So far ago, you just don't know, do
Do you know who that is?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Oh, do you know who it is?
Yeah.
Oh, have you seen it on YouTube? Have you seen them? Have you seen them on YouTube?
Yeah, actually.
Have you googled them?
He's got a famous little clip, doesn't he?
Oh,
Son's currently playing.
is Son's currently playing?
Yeah.
Oh, that's got
British and Irish Lions.
Got a guess?
Got a guess.
The Son's currently playing.
Yeah.
quite handy as well.
Gavin Hastings.
Yeah!
Yes! Come on!
Right, Henry.
Well done.
Over to
Come
you.
on!
I hope I know this.
Love you, Gav.
Yeah.
Love you, Gav.
Hope you haven't stitched me up.
No, you will.
Right, you've got to ask the question.
And if you don't, like, there should be some serious issues.
Is he currently playing?
Yes.
Yes.
Have I played against him?
Against
No.
No.
Okay, the way you said when I said against him, potentially I might have played with him. So he's English.
Yes.
Yes.
Is he a back?
No.
Okay, so he's a forward that I played with. And I'm guessing it'd be the Wales game. No, it's not the Wales game. Is he at Saints?
Don't forget, these are all
Maybe.
Lions players.
He was.
Was.
Oh, I know it is. The GOAT. Is he a GOAT?
Is he a goat? No, he's a...
Did you call him a goat? You might call him a goat. I'd say he's more
Yes, he's a goat.
I'd say he's more of a giraffe than a goat.
Yes. Yeah. Good job. Good job.
Well done.
Good job.
That was a good one.
Is it Scott Quinnell? Am
I really wish it was.
No.
When did I?
It's tough.
When did I go? Did I go on the '89 Lions tour?
No.
No.
A lot
Think
later.
later.
Oh, a lot later.
But to the same country.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Which was?
Australia.
Thank you.
Okay. Am I in the front five?
No.
No, but could have played. Definitely not, but could have
I'm in the
played.
back row. I went to.
No.
Think further back.
You're confusing him.
Bit further back.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Organisers.
Okay.
What, yeah.
I'm a half-back, aren't I?
Yeah.
Who's the worst chat? Who's got the worst? What position has the worst chat? Always a
Scrum half, without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah. Start all the fights
But
off.
could have played.
Never finish.
Could have played possibly. Big enough to play in the pack.
Okay. I must be the. Does he like the sound of his own name, this fella?
I know, you're saying.
It's not Mike Phillips.
No. It's the other one.
Okay, so tall scrum half.
Yeah.
To be sure.
Sure. Connor.
Yes.
Yes. Well done.
Well done.
Well, thanks. You gave it to me, lads.
Well, I got to be honest, you were getting it.
230 questions.
You were getting it.
Katie had to tell me mine.
Forward or back?
Back.
Back. Okay. Are they English?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Did they play before Henry was born?
Yes.
Did they play before Henry was born?
Yeah.
Yes.
Before Henry's parents were born.
Okay, so somebody really old.
We'll give you a clue. Played in the 97 Lions tour as well as played in the one before as well.
Yeah.
Sevens.
Won 2 Lions tours on his own, according to him.
Jeremy Duskett.
Hey, well done.
Sorry, Jack.
Well done.
Stick to Rugby, brought to you by Defender.
I'm going to take you back now to last Thursday, and how nerve-wracking was it? Did they give you the nod before?
No nod before.
No nod before.
No one knew.
Apart from the ones that were on Zoom, ready?
Yeah, the ones that had their camera set up.
Ben Earl.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ben, you're not picked. Turn off.
That's what I find really awkward. Imagine if they set the camera up and they didn't get picked.
Yeah.
You just go on your phone and press delete, and then you go back to your normal Thursday.
Can you say that your performance against Leinster in that semi-final, the team's performance, and yours personally, and your try, you must have thought, actually, there's been a lot of hype around me, but that performance may just have given me a chance of playing, getting picked.
Yeah, I think before that game it was definitely like an outside chance, and then I think after that big result, I remember going in thinking that if I play well here, kind of stand out, then I'm in with a chance.
Was that in your mind going into it, like just a little bit?
Yeah,
like
definitely.
If I can.
I quite like to think like that, give myself a bit of pressure.
Well, I mean, given the quality of what you were playing against,
exactly,
and what was around you, you're thinking if I can be the person they're talking about after the game, I've got a really good chance.
Yeah, like that back row, I said it before, was one of the best that I would have ever played against. And I said going in, if I can go there and play well against them and kind of be on the same level, and if not better, then I'll be happy with that.
You don't get it. Everybody, there's been a lot of chat. Oh, is he too cocky? But I don't know a great rugby player that doesn't have that side to him. You know what I mean? Because when you get out on the pitch, you want to show off. You want to get out there. And everybody was talking. And Lol's got a conspiracy theory about the old. What was it?
I heard you say something about I'm going to get under their skin, and my view was that they said we're going to kill him, and you went like that. Well, I'm still alive. Is that close to it?
It's actually not. I think we were watching just a football game, and you know Diogo Dalot.
Yeah.
That's actually his celebration. So I just thought of it, and I was just thinking in the game it'd be just feel the heart rate. It'd just be cool. And then I guess it just kind of came to me. Just me and Freeman were talking about before the game. What could we do?
Well, hold on a minute. He needed 3 celebrations. I mean,
he needed 3. Yeah. They were in short concession as well. He was mad that game.
What was it like though after? Because I saw you getting interviewed, and all the boys behind you shouting "Lion, Lion."
I think that's what Hutch does. He's like since the Six Nations, he just every day he's come into the club going, "Have you heard from Manny Farrell?" And I've just been there like, "Shut up, Hutch." But yeah, it was mad, and it's so special having four boys, like some of my best mates that we can say we went down there together. It's gonna be cool.
It is. And you're meeting next weekend, I believe, for the first time.
Yeah.
And do you get, because playing rugby for you and for a lot of the guys who go on the tour is easy. That's the easy bit. You know what I mean? Is it turning up and the first time you all meet together, a little bit of nerves for that more than probably playing?
Yeah, probably the first impressions probably last, right? So I'll be a bit nervous, but as I said, we're going. There's a region being picked, I guess, right? So you just got to go down there, be yourself, and just get to know the boys. I think that's probably the whole point about it. Going down there and meeting the boys, meeting the staff, and kind of starting to build that cohesion, I guess.
I've got to be honest. The game has changed so much. There's financial rewards, etc. But when you turn up and you see the quality of players you're around, and then you walk into your room and there's a kit bag there, and it's the Lions kit, and you lay it out on the bed, the stash, and you just go, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, that's that for me. Was when I was like, I just want to shut the door and be on my own for a second.
It was the best ever, wasn't it? It was the best ever. And is there chat around as well? Because there's 2 spaces, 38 have been picked. You're locked in. I think it's like a game show. You're locked in. There's 2 spaces left.
Yeah.
And will there be a lot of chat around that? Who are they going to be? What positions are they going to be? Oh shit, no, not another back rower. That kind of thing.
I don't know, but potentially, I could probably see potentially someone like a Doris maybe coming in late from his injury if he gets back in time. But I know.
I think another back, because Blair Kinghorn's been picked. If Toulouse go all the way to the final, they might need an additional back. Is there a WhatsApp group set up for the guys selected yet or not?
Not yet, nah. So we haven't got all the Irish and some of the Scotland numbers yet.
What about Bill? You've got to look after Bill, haven't you, the Lion as well? A bit of responsibility that is.
Yeah, I know. I feel kind of bad for him looking.
So just so we're clear.
Do you think you'll do his hair?
Can you bling him up a bit?
Question.
I don't know. I was actually thinking about putting an air tag in, so if it gets lost.
Very clever. Very clever.
Like just undoing the stitch and putting it in and sewing it back up.
Yeah.
And then you can never lose him.
No, I think your mum might need to buy you a little cuddly toy just so you got a bit of practice for a few months before you go on the trip.
There's a lot of pressure with Bill, though.
Maritoji, I think in his first tour, Maritoji had Bill for a while.
Yeah. Louis Samet last one, he found it so stressful, he went to men's football. Yeah. That's how stressful he found it.
Yeah, hopefully it won't be too that bad. But now, it should be, I'm excited for it.
Oh, it's amazing. And of course, you're now English captain, Maro Toje. He's going to be captain of the British and Irish Lions, and you spent a lot of time with him. Absolutely wonderful. Martin Johnson was the last captain, of course, in 2001. He's going to take to that role. He's going to join. Have you ever seen a captain turn up to a press conference with pearl earring before?
So cool.
I haven't seen
How cool was that?
That's cool, right?
Cool.
Yeah,
that's
so
him.
cool.
I mean,
Can you put one on Bill? The Lion as well. That'd be class.
Yeah. That's sick. That's just what Maro does, I guess.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I was saying it'd be upgraded to a diamond by the end of the tour.
Yeah. Yeah, if we win.
So what do you think? What do you think, Maro? Absolutely brilliant.
In my opinion, there wasn't a huge amount of candidates because necessarily, and I think Doris was the front runner, but his injury. I mean, I desperately feel for him because
it's worse. Time,
we've been Lions, but you know what it's like to be injured on a tour. I've been injured on a couple of tours. Luckily, we had 97 and you had 2001. Yeah. He missed out on selection first time 4 years ago when he was kind of in your position. He was kind of the breakthrough player. And for him to miss out again, I really feel for him, actually.
Huge games coming up. So mentally, you've got to go out and you've got to perform and but you're going on the tour as well. There's that fine margin now of saying, I've got to keep myself fit, man. I've got to keep myself fit and I got to play. And the next couple of games, you play well. You play like you did in the semi-final and 2 tries against Wales. Right? No, we haven't mentioned that yet. You know, but and that final, because then all of a sudden, then you know, it's getting on the tour, and then it's test spot, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. You know? I think before the announcement, I think you're thinking about kind of proving yourself to get picked, and then once the squad's been announced, it's more kind of proving why you got picked, and then kind of proving to the coaches why you're there. Should you be in that test spot? But yeah, as you said, I feel like once you get on the plane, anything can happen, right?
Yeah. And also your form. I mean, you played Game of Your Life on the weekend. You want to carry that form through. So the next few weeks is just like to show Andy Farrell, actually, I'm not just here to compete for a place, I want to play in the test side. Yeah,
100%. Just kind of keeping that form going. We've got a massive game in a couple of weeks, which we're really excited for. So that's another big stage to kind of show yourself. So yeah, we're all really excited for that, and yeah, we're looking for.
Any famous people messaged you to say well done?
Lawrence Dallaglio.
Did you?
I did message him.
Yeah.
Current. Oh. Well done.
Some of the ex-players, like Biggsy messaged me, and Bigger, which is nice. But yeah, now some of the players as well that are currently playing messaged me as well. So yeah, it was nice.
Put this way, if I was cool enough to have your number, I would have texted you. I'm not
Take us back to that moment when, I don't know if our listeners realise, but the squad was named alphabetically, which took me a while to work out.
Well,
I'm a forward.
As a dyslexic, it was like, after B, I'd have been shitting myself.
I had just heard you saying, it's now or never, because obviously who was selected just before you must have been...
I think it was Jack Morgan. Yeah, I remember going through it, and you couldn't hear it, but we kept going A, B, C, D, because we couldn't really work it out. And then it was Jack Morgan, and I remember just saying, yeah, it's now or it's not going to be. Yeah. And then when my name got read out, it was mad.
It's just disbelief, really, shock.
Yeah, 100%. Like, it was actually weird because before we were sat there, we had this like photo shoot, and then we were just sat waiting at 2, expecting the squad to be announced like 2:05. So we're sat there waiting, and we're like nervous for this, and then they like do all this small chat, and we're there going, is this gonna keep going? We're like literally been here for like half an hour.
That's showbiz, baby. That's showbiz.
It's just we were all so nervous. Like we had some food on the side, and like every 5 minutes we're just going to get more food just to stall it. But yeah, we were nervous.
Can I ask a question? Who, obviously your relations, family, friends would have been watching, but who was the first person you phoned up?
It's actually quite funny. I phoned my mum and she didn't answer, so I went straight to voicemail. So then that was class.
Can't leave a message for your mum, can you really?
Hey,
it went to voicemail, and I was like, so what's she doing right now? So I ended it, and then I phoned my dad, and they were together, and they were just crying their eyes out, I guess.
Will they come out?
Yeah, hopefully they'll come out. So yeah, they should come out.
Well, the good thing is that you're offered to pay for them to go out, because that's
I don't know about that.
Well, we spent the £100 already.
Sign a new deal. Yeah, I'll fire them out definitely. But yeah, it was a mad moment and so surreal. And I remember thinking, should I be crying now because they're crying, or I was just so happy.
Well, just talk to us about that, because your mum and dad, but particularly your mother, must a big influence. I mean, I know that certainly for me, my mum, drove me around everywhere, came to every game. So in many ways, it's as much a celebration for them as it is for you.
Yeah, I think they were just so proud. Like, they've been with me the whole journey, and the last 12 months has been mad, and it's been a whirlwind, and they've been there by my side the whole time, and it was just such a special moment. Shame they weren't there in person with me, but I saw them the next day.
When you say the last 12 months, I mean, just to put it into context, guys, I mean, I think you hadn't, this time last year, you were in fancy dress in Northampton kit.
You'll see the photo of you in fancy dress this weekend.
That's true.
Don't put that on there.
Well, I see, he's came in fancy dress today. So you're in fancy dress watching the semi-final 12 months ago. Hadn't played a single game for Northampton in any competitive, first team game, that is. You make your Prem Cup debut, you make your Premiership debut, Champions Cup debut, England A debut, scored 2 tries, and now you're a Lion. I mean, that's some...
You're the Luke Littler of rugby.
That is some...
Just look 16 years old.
Much better shape.
Thanks, mate.
Hey, if Defender did rugby players, that would be a year of Defenders, wouldn't it?
Well, he's probably got a car already, mate. But we'll work on it.
Yeah, 100%. No, it's been crazy. Like, the start of the year, I remember being disappointed, wasn't getting into the squad at the start, just TRing, and then unfortunately Sam Graham got injured in Leicester away, horrific injury, and I feel so bad for him, and he's just coming back now. And then I got my chance, and it's just all kind of come so fast, and I'm just still trying to process it, I guess. I'm just trying to enjoy my rugby, loving it.
So obviously, being the youngest Lion, you will have had some memories from the past of watching the Lions? Like, what is the first one that springs to mind when you think about the Lions?
You're going to hate me here. Probably the 2017 one. I remember just watching it on holiday with my brother and my dad. Yeah, just being, this would be so cool. It's every boy's dream to go on a tour, and watching it. Yeah, watching it was special, and I remember that tour. I think they drew, didn't they?
Yeah.
So you were 12 then, right?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, he was. You were born in 2005. Even my maths works out.
Well
He's 12.
Well done, okay.
So it was the Lions against New Zealand.
Yeah.
Obviously, first test, New Zealand won. Second test,
Wellington.
Yeah.
Amazing, really.
Yeah.
And did you think? I mean, you were playing rugby then?
Yeah, I was playing rugby a little bit, but it wasn't like I was still doing lots of other sports, so it wasn't like the main sport, I guess. But yeah, I probably put myself back there. I would never have thought I'd be going.
It was Ken Owens, wasn't it? Ken Owens caught the ball and then quickly let it go.
It should have been a penalty.
It should have been. They were offside of the kick-off.
Myself and Will Greenwood were sat and literally the final whistle went, and it was 1-1 draw, and we went,
So
what happens now? No, nobody went, and then all of a sudden...
Got a joint picture, haven't they, of them both holding the trophy?
But that is one of the greatest pictures, one of the greatest sports pictures I've ever seen, when they're both, Sam Webb and Kieran Reid, and everybody, some of them have swapped jerseys.
You boys have been on, lots of tours between you. What was some of the best bits that you can recall, them special moments?
I'm sorry, what goes on tour stays on tour?
The ones you can share.
Oh, right, okay. And a cup of tea once. We had a brownie.
Do you remember we had this massive picture that was created, and it had all these different emblems of what the Lions meant and where we were going on tour. And do you remember we all had a bit of canvas? This is in 2005. We each had a bit of canvas to draw, and it all fitted together, this one massive sort of mural. Yeah. And there was zebra on there was rhinos on there, wasn't there? There was loads of stuff, and then a few of the boys had drawn like a little penis on a rhino. So it came together.
Where's Wally? It was the peen.
You had a giraffe with sunglasses on. Yeah. But it was a bit of a team sort of building exercise. The only thing I don't think we did in 05 was we actually didn't have a team social. Narrowly lost 3-0.
Do you know what? In 97, I can remember turning up at the Oatlands Park Hotel, and first and foremost, you don't room with anyone that you know particularly well. So I was always with a Scotsman, Irishman or Welshman.
Yeah.
So that makes it really interesting. No. And actually, we did very little rugby training in that whole week. We were doing a lot of team bonding, a lot of getting to know each other. We got the kit. And then the final day, Fran Cotton, who was our team manager, he was that iconic, photo of him as Cotton Traders, isn't it? And he took us down the pub, didn't he?
Yeah.
And basically locked us in the pub. And then he flew out the next day to South Africa. And we flew out 2 days later. I'll never forget this. And we arrived, and he addressed us as our first, Lions team meeting as the tour manager. And clearly he hadn't taken any sun cream with him, right? His face was burnt, right? And from that moment onwards, he was known as the Pink Salmon, because he's got this huge head. And the first thing he did, we're in Durban, the waves are coming in the rocks. He goes, right, lads, this is no fucking fishing trip. And we just burst out laughing. Yeah. Well, clearly it is.
It's still one of the best things you can do, I think, in a team environment. It's just a few drinks, break down the barriers.
Yeah.
And every trip we went on, it was just... we went to Australia, and the days off we had, you know what I mean? They'd go, where do you want to go today? And you could go to the neighbour set, right? Not that anymore. You can go to the neighbour set, or you can go to. I remember we went to Steve.
You won't even know what Neighbours is.
I was stupid enough to go.
Do you go to the neighbour?
No, I went Great White watching.
we went to Steve Irwin's zoo, Australia, and it was amazing. And they brought out there was a 200-kilo python, right? And we were like, no, not for us, you know what I mean? And then they said, it's okay, it's got a baby, and they brought this 50-kilo python out, right? And we were there now, and there was Brian O'Driscoll, David James, myself, and Rob Owley, right? And I thought, I'm definitely... So I grabbed the tail, then Drico grabbed the next bit, and then Rob Owley grabbed the next bit, and David James ended up with a head, right? And he was there, and this head turned to Dav, and that's all he heard was, and his head was about that big. That was one of the best days of the 2001 Lions tour. He shit himself. It was absolutely brilliant.
This is probably aimed, I suppose, a little bit more for Lawrence. If you had a choice of a World Cup win or Lions tour win, and you have to pick one.
He's taking the piss out of us.
I've got to be honest. I've got to be honest with you. Listen, there are, and this is one that there's been lots of Lions, not lots. There's been a few Lions tours ever since 1888, but there's not been that many that have won, that have come back winners. And there's a reason, because everything about a Lions tour is set up to fail. You're only, you're 4 home unions. You inherently don't like each other at the start. You're only together for a week. You go to the other side of the world, play against, a very good side in their backyard. So it is hard to win. And I think, for me, to have gone on that 97 Lions tour and to have come back, only 2 teams had ever gone to South Africa and won, the 74 Lions and the 96 All Blacks. And I think for us to have gone there, the 9 weeks... that
in their prime as well.
In their prime, they were world champions.
Yeah.
To have gone there and Jerry Duskett hit the winning drop goal in the second test, I think was the best 9 weeks rugby I've ever had in my life. The experience of, because every man, when they were asked, what does it mean to be picked for the Lions? He said, it's a pinnacle of our career. So it's great to be a Lion. And in the words of Jim Telfer, you've done the easy bit, lads. No, getting picked is the easy bit. Now you've got to win. And
the hardest part about being a Lion is getting the tattoo.
Look at that. Pull it down a bit more.
That's the hardest part about being a Lion. I tell you what, I was alright playing in South Africa, playing in Australia.
Does it go over your nipple as well?
Oh, that's all you want to see. That's all he wants to see.
You probably can't answer this, Henry, but talking about some of the omissions from the squad, if you'll have a look at it, Sam Prendergast, Jamie George, Jack Willis, George Ford. Who do you think is the biggest one?
Graham Darcy.
Darcy Graham.
Darcy Graham. I thought he was being outstanding.
Yeah. I think for me,
he was unlucky.
You've got guys like James Ryan, who missed out last time. I think Gary Ringrose, who'd been such a good player, never been a Lion, but he gets to be a Lion this time. So I'm pleased for those guys.
Maybe Faletau.
But people like...
When Doris pulled out, I thought Faletau would go. David Jenkins, I thought, from a Welsh point of view, I thought he's been playing in a team that hasn't been performing incredibly. He's played incredibly well.
Would you have had Fordy in there, potentially not making your test side, but just as that level of experience,
but
and
you know
just
what?
Within that?
Right.
And the form he's in?
You see the 15 players that are not going on the tour could start the first test.
Fair.
And you look and you go through it. The quality of this squad, I think, is incredible. The power, the pace, and I don't think there's a stronger side.
Sometimes it's about here and now. We've got Henry here, who's got 1 cap for England, and he's going to be a British and Irish Lion. You've got George Ford, who's got nearly 100 caps, if not 100 caps. And he's not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's just the way it is. He's 20 years of age. What age were you when you got picked on the Lions tour?
Lions. I'd gone to Wigan and
before you defected.
20. No, I went to Wigan when I was 21. Yeah. 22, 23 came back to Rugby Union, and then I went when I was 24 then to South Africa, and then I was 28 then when I went to Australia. So I'd gone to Rugby League and everything before then. And we'll talk about that later.
Who are you most looking forward to meeting?
Don't put that.
From who are you most looking forward to meeting from other?
Probably Josh van der Fleer. Just picking his brains would be cool, I guess, in the most least noisy way possible.
He was in your pocket.
Was there much chat on the pitch at the weekend?
I
Leinster?
think when I hit him off the ball, he didn't like that. But he's to be fair, they all showed their class after the game. They were all so nice, came up to us and chatted to us, and they were really class. He would be one. I'd say some of the previous Lions, like, I don't know, like an Andrew Porter or a Tide Furlong would be cool.
Yeah.
It's just going to be cool being around those players, I guess, being in the same environment as them. And
well, hopefully you get. I mean, I room with Di Young. Yeah. I room with Keith Wood.
Plays a lot now.
Jan Evans. Apparently, I make a very good cup.
Well, I was just about to say you made a good cup of tea. I room for 10 days with Woody, and I was his secretary. Basically, he was typing for the Irish Times or whatever he was writing for. And it was a cup of tea, yeah. Oh, just a favour, could you just pass us that pen? I ended up being his secretary.
Snoring was horrific. I literally, halfway through the night, I lifted his bed, I took it down the corridor and I left it outside Guscott's room. I couldn't cope with the snoring, mate.
Yeah, that is going to be a problem, I reckon.
Yeah.
some of those big lads will definitely snore.
I was a very heavy sleeper, but I was a snorer.
Really?
I roomed with John Devereux once, and playing Rugby League '95 World Cup, and I used to put all my trainers, all my boots, all my shoes, all his trainers, all his boots, all his shoes by the side of my bed, and in the morning he'd be like a Clark's showroom, because I'd be throwing them at him every 20 minutes, throwing another boot. So he'd wake. Oh,
there is. I mean, Eric Miller came in half cut and actually climbed into bed with me. I mean, that's.
But he didn't snore though, did he?
No,
he didn't snore.
Worst roommate you've had so far?
Good question.
Worst roommate? I had Joe Hayes in one of the England camps, and he doesn't like comfy beds. How weird's that? So he
takes the mattress off.
No, worse than that. So he has this portable like bamboo bed.
What?
This it's bizarre.
Slightly monastic type bed.
He basically
has
he has to sleep on like a really hard bed for his back.
Oh.
So he can't sleep on like the normal bed they give at the hotel. So he sets like a little camp bed up and he sleeps on the camp bed. Yeah. And I was there I was 19 at the time, and I was looking over going, this is a bit weird. Yeah.
It's going to make
I didn't say that to him. I was like,
interesting marriage, right?
Is this what you do?
Yeah, but then to be fair, apparently at home he has like a wooden bed, a like really hard bed, so.
Right, we're going to talk to you. You come from quite a sporting background. I think you used to, am I right in saying you used to swim and a bit of triathlon?
Bit of triathlon, swimming.
And
can I ask, are you the quickest in your family?
What? Depends what distance.
400 over hurdles?
No.
No, you're not you. You're not you.
Depends how high the hurdles are.
So your sister is a runner, and she's over at the University of...
She was over there for 2 years doing like a postmasters. Yeah, University of Georgia, doing like a postmasters degree, running 400-meter hurdles.
Wow. Nice.
So her quickest time, I think I had it written down somewhere, 56.78.
Yeah.
I think you rate yourself to complete that?
Actually, no, probably not.
No. You were going to say something else.
I was going to say if she has hurdles and I don't have hurdles, I reckon it could be quite close.
Yeah.
But
that's fair.
I'm going to ask you a question. Are you a competitive family?
Yeah, very competitive. Everything we do, we compete. 100%.
Going back to swimming, who do you think's the worst swimmer out of the four of us?
I love how you all look away when I'm about to say my answer. The biggest, probably you.
Yeah.
I used to do.
Right?
I used to do.
We've never swum.
Well, I swim like a brick.
Because my knees, I couldn't train properly when I was playing. So I used to do 2 1-mile sessions every Tuesday and Thursday, and I can't float.
Why not?
I think we knew that.
I don't know. I know I can't float. Muscle weighs heavier than fat, apparently.
Were your mum and dad sporty?
Mum did age grade triathlon. She did that the whole time. So when I was younger, she was always like going to, Geneva and doing a marathon, or going out to Hawaii and doing an Ironman or whatever. So she was mad, and then my dad just. He actually hates when I talk about it, because I make it out to be like he does nothing, because he's sporty, but he just doesn't do like...
It makes out that he picks up the wrong child at hospital, basically.
Yeah, because I'm always talking about what my mum does, and like she's big sporty, and then my dad's there like, I used to run as well. I'm like, yeah, but you did the park run on Saturday.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Parents get so... My mum used to say, obviously gets all his talent from me, and my dad's like, no, surely I must have had something to do with it.
I did something here, surely.
What age were you when you got into rugby? Were you super young, or was it later on in life?
I think Dad took me down to like rugby club on the Sunday, and I got into it there, and then kind of did all sports through prep school and then I think when I got to Stowe, I kind of narrowed down. And
what age was that?
Probably 15, 16.
They must have. Did you go there because you were good at? I mean, they must have had a look at you and thought, well, unless you're incredibly bright, I don't know. I mean,
are you saying that?
That's 4 years ago. That's 4 years ago. You got a British Lions store. Yeah,
Stowe, for those who don't know, is the most incredible school, because I've actually played a game of rugby down there.
On the first team,
still there. The first team pitch is right in front of the school.
They have a massive house behind.
It's just incredible. We had a charity match down there, sadly, for someone who'd had a nasty injury, and it's iconic place to, you could dream of playing for the Lions on that pitch, I reckon.
Yeah, it's mad. Like the pit is the first team pitch, and then in the summer they change the cricket pitch, and they call it the North Front, and they have it's a cricket pitch, and in the afternoons like the whole school just comes out and just sits and watches. It's mad.
Brilliant. So hands up, who's got a degree here? Has anyone else got a degree?
Half of one.
Okay. Well, hands up who's studying for a degree. Hands up who's studying. Are you studying for a degree?
No, I'm not, unfortunately. I started Loughborough last year.
Okay.
And then it didn't really work out because they wanted me to go into full-time, and I was at Saints training and it didn't really work.
It's really interesting. So clubs really want you to be full-time. Your parents and you kind of think, actually, I want to do a degree.
Yeah.
And a lot of, Kieran Bracken had this problem, and he turned down an England tour to do his law finals exams.
Yeah.
And Saracens were putting pressure on his son to give up university and join Saracens Academy.
That's nuts.
And so I think at some point, obviously not now, because you've had the most incredible year, but you could be like Jamie Roberts and you could take like 15 years to become a doctor.
Or you could be like Kieran Bracken dancing on ice.
There is that.
And then need a doctor.
But you were studying sports management or something?
Sports management, yeah. So I'm definitely looking to do a degree. I did a little, I did like a learning of a Spanish course for a couple of months.
So what's your main phrase?
What, in Spanish?
Yeah.
Normalmente voy a Menorca en España y aquí tenemos una casa allí.
Yeah, too good for me. Too good for me. What did it say?
It's normalmente, so normally I go to Menorca with my family, and then it was just something, I think I actually just put something weird in there that was like...
We wouldn't know. So
Yeah, I mean, actually, it was probably about... Amazing. Yeah, something quite serious.
Just going back to you growing up, so you played rugby from quite an early age. Were there rugby players that you followed then? Or did you have other sporting heroes growing up? Or because you said you played lots of different sports.
Yeah, to be fair, probably when I was younger, probably the Brownie brothers were probably quite big inspirations, because obviously Mum did triathlon, we did it loads. They were mad, and when they won the Olympics together, that was, I think Johnny won the Olympics. I remember that quite vividly. He was big, and then kind of later on, obviously the rugby stars like Courtney Laws, watched him when I was growing up, watching Saints, Lewis Ludlam.
So do you utilise all those in your game? Have you got your mum's engine? Does she used to take you running and that type of thing, and the mental side of it? Because honestly, to do an Ironman is more mentally.
You don't watch him 2 weeks. You don't watch him a few weeks.
Yeah, no. To say, right, so where did you get that from? Do you think that?
Yeah, definitely Mum. I think we did loads of sports when we were younger, and we used to do mad like cycle rides on holiday, and when I was like 9 or 10, we used to just go out for the whole day. And I think I have a vivid memory of Dad putting me on a dog lead because I couldn't get up the hill, and he just like, attached the dog lead to him and he just cycles up the hill. So yeah, we were a crazy sporty family.
Brilliant.
And yeah, we did. So I'm definitely my baseline fitness was down to her. But yeah, like my brother and my sister are so sporty. Like Sister did a marathon yesterday in somewhere in Europe, and then brother plays a bit of golf. So he plays off. He's on 1 or 2, so pretty much scratch.
Is he?
So he's actually quite annoyingly good. So it's so bad when I.
You got into golf yet?
I actually do play with him, but it's just so frustrating because he's so good, and I'm so shit. And then when he hits the green, he's annoyed that it's not like this far from the pin, and I'm going left to another bunker.
Shanks is nodding in agreement because these two are very keen golfers, actually.
Yeah. Shanks,
what?
6 I play off.
So it's quite good.
9 now. 9.
So just from your career, it's obviously everything's happened quite quickly. You're captain of England under 18s, weren't you? Okay. Yeah. Then you've played in the under 20 championship, which you won, I think.
Yeah.
Man of the championship last year.
Yeah, so we won the Six Nations, and then we won the World Cup as well.
So that.
Oh yeah, 3 of you, 3 all.
He's done everything.
I'm leaving.
Honestly,
3 of them. I didn't think we'd have to put up with anymore.
Then he's obviously scored 2 tries on his debut. Yeah. But obviously the best bit of his debut was the pure shithousery of undoing the laces, which was beautiful. I did that to Kieran Bracken, and he dislocated my finger, stabbed on my finger.
That's the kind of stuff I live for.
You win a penalty.
I wasn't even thinking about doing it. I remember someone said hold him in the ruck, so I remember looking at him and just like, he's like, look, hold him in the ruck, and I was like, there, like just.
You can't tread on people's hands, you can't tread on people's ankles anymore, but pulling the lace.
Yeah.
Can we set a challenge?
Classy.
Right? I don't think we've done this on the... Can we set a challenge, right? In Australia, see if you can tie somebody's laces together. That's the best.
Yeah, yeah. Normally
just like, wow, bam.
And then when they stand up,
gone. That'd be brilliant.
That'd be good.
And then just do a stick to rugby side or something like that.
We had Freddie Stewart on the show a little while ago, and he was talking about his debut, and I think he scored... we were asking him about the song that he sung. Obviously, you come in, you scored 2 tries on your debut. I mean, they should make you sing all night, really. Can you remember what you... Well, you can, of course you can remember what you sung.
Yeah, I sang Billie Jean.
Solid.
I remember actually the night before I was with with Tommy in the room thinking about what was I thinking if I was to get on, and we were just thinking, we were looking at, the NFL, the really famous one, the Billie Jean, the whole crowd went growing. So I was kind of imagining that. Didn't quite happen how I planned it out.
as in the crowd didn't join in.
Yeah, not as much as the NFL, but yeah.
White glove on.
Have you got the voice?
It wasn't a great voice. But to be fair, I think you've got to go with a lot of confidence. Yeah. That kind of thing. You know what I mean? There's no point in just doing it half-hearted. You may as well go full into it.
Now listen, you have had so many things happen in such a short space of time. If I ask you to pick one that stands out as your favourite moment, I mean, it probably only a couple of days ago, really, but it might be your debut. I don't know. There's so many things that have happened to you in a short space of time. What would you pick out as your favourite moment so far?
I'd say probably Thursday was mad. It was an honour. It's a privilege it's the pinnacle of the sport, right? To do it in my first professional season, it was mad, and it was a whirlwind. Loads of emotions came out, and that was sick. That was a cool day.
Well, you have a Lion's number now.
Yeah.
Scott's is very easy.
I got a cracking number. Do you know what it is?
No.
6.
That's mad.
He's 6.
Yeah, that's my Lion's number. 666.
Mine's 6.
Got a tattooed on you?
661.
661.
So, God, I'm not 666.
I love 66.
Before we move on, I'll tell you what I did do, and I'm sure these guys are the same, is I learnt a little bit about the history of the Lions. So I had a friend of mine who had a second-hand bookshop, and he used to give me all these books about previous Lions tours. Now, you can't read everything, but I read about 74 with...
The big ones.
Our two coaches, Ian McGeechan and Jim Telfer, were both involved in 74. And I think it really gives you an insight into... Because you think you know what it means to be a Lion, but when you read about some of these, Willie John McBride, the 89, we were talking on the way here, the 89 tour, the Battle of Bal...
It's because they did that, the documentary, didn't they?
Living with the Lions.
Yeah, Living with the Lions. I remember
97.
I remember watching a bit of that, and that was, cool. It's sick.
It's funny, isn't it?
It's difficult to watch now, isn't it? Unless you've got a VHS player.
Betamax, I think. That was Donny's video when we were doing a bit of press practice, and they said, Donny, you've been seen coming out of a nightclub with two young ladies. Case of mistaken identity.
But what a lot of people don't forget, that was our media training day.
Yeah, that was, yeah.
That was our media training day. You know what I mean? Back in the day, we had one media training day, and that was it. There was nothing else. Some of us listened.
Just on that, you seem to be, and I can relate to this a lot. You're 20 years of age, everything that's happening for you, because of the way you're playing, okay? But naturally, the cameras are going to gravitate towards you after the game. And you just seem very comfortable just saying, the weekend was lovely because you just said it as it was. Yeah, that was the best back row I've ever played against, and it was like, just amazing. Do you know what I mean? But please don't stop doing what you do because you say it as it is, and I think there's something quite special about that in the game now.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just being myself, I guess. Especially, I feel like rugby kind of at a turning point where it needs people to be themselves and show their characters. Like you look at the football game of how they're also much individuals, and I know rugby's a massive team sport, is more than football, but they all show themselves in celebrations and like the little things, like I find it mad after games how much the commentary or like Gary Neville analyses the football and they just say how it is, like he was so bad today, he was so good. They don't have that in rugby. Do you know what I mean?
They do, but you just haven't had any of the bad ones yet, trust me.
You're not a bad player.
You know what I mean though?
Lawrence is here for you, don't worry.
No, but I think you need that honesty. You do, and also with yourself as well. As players, we all, the good days are great, right? Yeah. You don't have to pick up the newspaper or listen to the TV to know when you played well, right? You've got a rough idea. I think, but you've got to be prepared when things aren't going quite so well, which inevitably happens to all of us, that you say that. I mean,
you had some big moments already. You talk about like the England cap, and obviously then game against Leinster for Northampton, which was another massive, massive moment. I mean, Lol, you covered that game.
Yeah.
How good were Northampton? If there was a team that was going to beat Leinster, it was
I got to be honest,
it's a team that had to have a great attack.
I'm one of these guys, I know you heard me say this a lot, I think the most important thing about winning is believing you can win. I think so much can be affected before a ball's even been kicked. And there's no doubt that Northampton were underdogs, and I love the underdog. And even I was thinking, can I see them winning this game?
Especially after Glasgow and Quins.
And I thought to myself, yes, I can. But I thought if this game is played 10 times, I said Northampton win it twice and Leinster probably win it 8 times. But from the very first moment the game kicked off, and Rob Kearney was next to me, he said, you know what would be really good for this game is if Northampton score the first try. And the minute you scored that try, I thought to myself, they're going to win this game because
it wasn't a try. If anything, it was your intensity in defence as well, and your intensity to get up and get to the ball. You must have talked to it before, the week before. If you're going to go there, you've got to let it all out. You've got to be absolutely, by half time, almost spent, ready to go again.
Yeah, we spoke massively in that week about how their squad hadn't played together. They hadn't had the season that we had. They hadn't had the up and down, like losing, getting nilled at home at Leicester. They hadn't had the season that we had.
Just had the highs.
Yeah, exactly. And I think their team as well hadn't played together that much. They've
got two teams. They've got the URC team really, and they've got the European team.
Yeah, exactly. So we spoke about that, and we spoke about how close we were as a group, and Dingers spoke really well in the week about just believing. Like they have World Cup players, so do we. Do you know what I mean? He kept saying that all week and saying that. They've got World Cup winners and we do as well. And yeah, as you said, the first 10 minutes we were going there and we wanted to like put a statement down. When we're not here to get run over like Glasgow or Harlequins unfortunately did. But yeah, we just believe, and sometimes in sport it happens, right?
Well, I think the head, and I mean, listen, the much vaunted defence. They had a 72% completion rate at the end of that game. They missed 42 tackles, right? Which for them is unheard of. Now, a lot of that was the running lines, etc., and the way that you guys played, which I thought was magnificent. But I think the belief and what happens in here and up here is really important. What I was impressed with is just how calm you guys remained. Because you had to win it twice, really. You got yourselves in front, and then they came from behind, and you were thinking, "Oh my God, if they kick this penalty and it goes to a draw, you'd fancy Leinster to win the game." But you got penalised in the last few minutes of the game for going off your feet at the breakdown under your own post, which I thought was a little bit unfair. We've all been there, and you took it on. You took your medicine, and then you actually got a turnover about 2 minutes later, which actually probably won your side of the game, notwithstanding the drama in the corner at the end.
Yeah, the drama in the end was crazy, and then they had a penalty, and it was. I remember thinking they were going to go for the post, or what were they going to do, and they went for tap and go, and then I don't even know how we got the ball. I think Joano it was bizarre how he got the ball. Joano just got his hand in, and then next thing you know, he has the ball, and it was mad. But like. Finn Smith and Alex Mitchell worked really hard all week, and they were just kind of talking to us about how to play against Blitz defence. And from the start of the week, we had a game plan, and it was kind of, let's tighten everything up. Let's not have ball in the air time. Let's all tighten it up. And Finn's so good with that, and he spoke to us so well.
I've got to say, their performance 12 months ago, where they probably made a dozen mistakes between them. I think the development of those two players in particular in the last 12 months.
Finn Smith's running angle.
They were the two outstanding players on the field, God. And you're going to go away with them to Australia.
Yeah, Finn's a player that he leads so well, and like as I said, he spoke so well in the week about the attack and how to go against the Blitz defence. I'm imagining him and Vesey sat down and they spoke, and Sam Vesey's he's probably one of the best back coaches I've ever had. He kind of gave us a clear plan, and the coaches gave us a clear plan to go there, and we had our game plan. But at the end of the day, we just spoke about the intensity. You can't go there and lose a physical battle, because at the end of the day, that's the game.
What about his decision for 3 points? Would you have?
Oh, don't bring that up again. Jesus Christ.
I lost a Grand Slam on that.
I think you've...
Leinster scored a try with a tap penalty a few minutes before.
You've got to take the
yeah, I think you're pragmatic, aren't you? Take the points and then gives you an opportunity.
Just having a look forward now for Bordeaux. I mean, obviously, I think back when Wasps played, when we won our first European title, we played Toulouse. Okay, their budget was about 25 million euros. Ours was about 4 million, and I earned 2.5 of that.
Rob Williams,
the rest. But you're going to be going up against a team, and we can say it on this pod, that's basically bought their way into, with a huge amount of talent.
Yeah.
They've bought the likes of Bordeaux. They've got some phenomenal players, and God knows what their wage bill is. I mean, I guess if you've been to Leinster and won, you're not, you're going to respect Bordeaux. But you're on neutral territory in Cardiff, which makes
feels more like a home game.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, it's good as well, and I feel like it's going to be new for both of our teams. But yeah, as you said, they're a good outfit. They got some incredibly fast wingers on the either side that are going to stretch us, but we haven't really looked too much towards it. But I guess we're just going to be so excited.
I reckon it'll be one of the best finals we'll see.
I was there in Northampton when the first one
in 2000,
down in Cardiff, and it was incredible. It was, because they went massively behind.
How are you? I'm just going to be honest, because most of what's happened throughout your career, you've had all these moments in a short. So you've done a lot of winning, but obviously as a Northampton player, you have lost the odd game as well. How are you with winning and losing? Are you? I mean, I used to hate losing and didn't speak to people for a few days, but I think, are you kind of, do you find it difficult to sleep, or are you still full of adrenaline whether you win or lose?
There were some months I didn't speak to people at all. Really play for Wales.
No, I think you play the game to win it, to win the game or to win whatever you're doing. I'm a competitive person, I hate losing. So yeah, definitely frustrated after we had some tough losses. But I think the main thing is after losses is kind of seeing what you did wrong and having those hard conversations with the coaches, with the players, and then just picking yourself back up for the next week, because that's the beauty of the sport. You can right the wrongs the next week after, which is something that we've spoken about loads. Like we've had some crisis meetings and saying, let's leave the last kind of five months behind us and let's look onto it. And we've done, we've been really good in the Europe. So that's just given us a bit of fight and a bit of belief.
And go on.
Have you set out a plan for yourself? Because you know what I mean. The last year
not too bad, is it?
No,
there's not a lot left, really.
Well, no, but
this time last year I said
this hope thing.
Date the movie star.
Yeah, this is my point. The last. Did you sit down? After winning the Player of the Series last year, winning the World Cup with the under-20s, did you sit down and say, do you know what? This is what I want in the next 5 years?
I think every player wants the same thing and play for their country and get picked for the British National Lions and win a World Cup. Those are probably the three that all young kids nowadays probably say, right? The start of the year, if you said that I did all the stuff I've done this year, you probably just snapped your arm off, to be honest with you. Making my senior cap was special, and then such a British National Lions, I would have never thought that at the start of the year. I remember going in the start of the year just thinking, can I regularly get in that 7 shirt at Saints and then potentially get pushed into a senior camp maybe in the summer or and then was lucky enough to get it early on, and it was mad.
And so most of your career you've been playing 7 for Saints. I mean, obviously looking at the back row that's been picked for the Lions, can you see yourself playing at 6 and 8, not necessarily on this tour, but over the next few years? Because it does seem to be, we're in this era where players have to play hybrids. I mean, I got picked at 7, right, for my first 12 cuts. Never a clue what I was doing, to be honest with you. And then I played at 6 and then finished at number 8. But you've started at 7. Can you see yourself moving across?
Yeah, definitely. I like playing 8. I played a couple of times with Saints at number 8. I like the way that the Saints it gives you time on the ball as an 8. It's the kind of
decision-making role that
exactly,
you
have, and it's more.
Scott,
like
you saying this?
Well, it's just the most specialised position on the field.
You're I feel like the number 8 is the person that gives the kind of forward pat momentum.
Basically, if you fly off and messes around, don't give him the ball.
Don't give the ball, no. You have real control of it, because otherwise, it doesn't go anywhere.
It's staying in the scrum. It's not going out.
But to be honest with you, right, as an 8, you're so powerful, so quick off the mark. Now,
I thought you were talking about you there.
No, I'm so quick.
No, you're so quick.
I'll tell you what,
no, but
not the quick bit, but he ran over me for 4 tries when he was about 17.
But now the number 9 has to stay back.
Yeah.
It's made for you. It's absolutely made for you. You quick strike, bang it, your hand's gone.
Yeah, it would definitely open the pitch up, especially off scrums and set pieces. Yeah, I'm happy to play wherever, to be honest with you.
Do you train a lot with the backs?
We don't do much. We do lots of skills in the week. Like Vessi's always talking about getting touched on the ball, moving the ball. Like we're a team that we want to pride ourselves on quick hands, quick balls, and I think in pre-season they installed that of us from day one. But no, we do lots of forwards work as well. I do actually do a lot of smalls, but you probably won't believe that.
A lot of mauls?
Mauls and
what are they? At the back of maul. That's why you got no nails hanging on the back.
The only reason I say it is because the way you play the game. You could be a back row, you could be a winger. The way you took your try against Prendergast, because you've got the speed and you've got the footwork.
Yeah. Look, I'm happy to play wherever. If I want to be at 12, I'd have a go at it. But currently right now I'm just focused on the back row.
Too tough for the backs.
Yeah.
Stick to Rugby, brought to you by Defender.
We have to talk about the other competition, the Challenge Cup.
Yeah.
Who's going to take us off? We've got Leon against
Leon Bath.
Against
Yeah,
Bath.
I think Bath will fancy Leon more than Racing because I think Racing's full of big stars, and I think if Racing got it together, they could be really dangerous.
Racing, they'd be good because Leon are playing.
Yeah, but coming to that final, I think
Alright.
Bath played first.
Yeah, to be fair, Bath have won the Prem Cup. Okay, they're top of the league, and
So I think they'll fancy Leon.
They could be
Way
having
more.
a treble here.
Yeah.
Now you played a fantastic game. I think it was Bath Saints. I think it was New Year's Eve or New Year's Day, one of those two.
Christmas.
And it ended up 30. I think you guys won in the end, but it was like 31-27 or something. Incredible game. Just what Bath been like to play against this season? I mean, they've obviously got quite a big test all round in terms of their squad.
Yeah, no, Bath are they got such big depth. They got world class players. They got. I think I look at the forwards, and then you've got like Thomas Detoit's world class, Will
15
Stewart,
tries.
and then you've also got probably the best fly half in world rugby that can just move the whole game up the pitch and just control it.
Finn Smith would be delighted with that.
I watched them play at Edinburgh, and they weren't really
Second best.
So
Cut
we
that
edit.
Cut that.
Yeah.
They weren't really Bath-like against Edinburgh because they won it up front, basically. They had Barbary and they had Ted Hill.
I love Barbary.
Yeah.
I love the way
And they were
Barbary
just
plays.
such big
Off the
carriers.
bench as well, though, isn't it? Like, difference that makes.
Because when you got Finn Russell at 10, you'd imagine you'd play a little bit wider, probably a little bit more exciting rugby, but they can mix it both, I think, Bath. They've got the power, they've got the excitement out wide. So
you're saying-
they played
I'm saying
again as well.
Bath win.
Bath win.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Bath. I think it actually helped Bath because they went down there. I know they didn't play the full team on the weekend. They played against Bristol in Cardiff at the Principality on the weekend. They had 50,000 people there. I think that'll help them as well. They'll go down there.
Will
have
Muir
full
was
Say the
understanding.
challenge. Did you win the Challenge Cup? You did.
Yes. Yeah.
I won it. It was called the Parker pen, and that I got a Parker pen.
That's it.
Yeah.
Did you?
And the EDF.
Goals
Man of the match
back
for
in
the pen.
day.
I was like, okay.
Remember
Pen with the
Could have been
rubber.
called the Beers Cup, couldn't it?
Pen with the rubber on the top.
Remember the EDF as well? Yeah.
Remember EDF?
Get your electricity bill paid, did you?
But yeah, so predictions: Bath, Leon final.
I think
Friday.
Yeah.
Bath. I think
Bath.
Bath will win that. They'll go out.
Yeah.
All guns blazing.
And I hope Northampton win the final.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
Let's hope so.
Come on, get the Frenchies.
Especially against
get the
those
Frenchies
big
over on
budgets.
British soil.
Yeah.
I don't see why not. Would you rather you roof open, roof closed, man?
Roof closed, bring the atmosphere. Why not?
Do you know why? Because we can. See, if we're not good at anything else, we're good at stadiums.
Bath on for the treble. So
Yeah.
yeah, Prem Cup,
Oh, wow.
League, and the Challenge Cup. Big season for them.
Well, they're going to be quite serious. I mean, they've signed Santi Carreras next season. Haven't they? They've signed
Bit more pace.
Henry Arundel.
Yeah.
Just what you need.
Are they going to get that stadium? When are they going to get that stadium built? When I was playing there, they were going to get a new stadium.
The temporary stands. Yeah.
Well, the temporary stands have been changed 10 times since I.
The other thing I was going to ask you is, you're not going to have a proper pre-season, are you? Really? Because you're going to go on this amazing Lions tour, which will be fantastic, and then hopefully you'll get a chance to have a few weeks off.
Yeah, a few weeks off after will be nice. I think. Yeah, and potentially stay out there. Maybe go around South Asia, maybe potentially with some of the boys.
Bali maybe on the way home.
Yeah, Bali would be cool.
All those people out there when they're taking their year out, and you'll be about 2 years younger than them.
Can't go to America. You won't get served.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, 21.
Before we let you go, we're going to finish with a quiz. These
Okay.
guys love a quiz. So basically, you get to pick your teammate, so your England teammate. I'm going to ask you a question, and you've basically got to pick one or two.
Or Northampton, shall we?
Yeah, okay.
Northampton. Should we not-
Northampton or England.
So anyone you
Any
play
of these
with,
teammates.
you've got to choose one of them to be your partner in what
this
Katie's
game.
going to
Yeah.
ask you.
Okay.
So if you had to organise a team social,
Alex Coles, he's quite educated.
Is he?
He's good at that.
Is he the poshest man in Northampton?
He's the posh man, and he hates it, so he is definitely the posh man.
Tell you what, he's some baller. Jesus Christ, he can play.
Yeah.
if you were going to go on the X Factor, who would you go with?
Tommy Freeman, he loves to sing and
Does he?
dance.
What would you do? Sing or dance?
I'd sing and he'd just dance. I'd just be behind him and he'd
He's got
just
some
dance.
moves on him, hasn't he?
Oh, he does. He likes to hide them, but he does. He's got a lot in his camera roll that he can't show us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Even better. Try to pass SES selection with.
Sam Graham, I think.
Yeah.
He's He's a dog. He wouldn't stop unless he got told to stop.
That's what you need. Wimbledon doubles. Who would your partner be?
Finn Smith, he's good.
Is he?
Tennis player, yeah.
You can see that, can't you?
Yeah, he's a good tennis player.
White Sox
and he
polo.
loves it as well, to be fair. He's a big tennis fan, so definitely Finn.
The opening the batting and the Ashes.
Opening the bat. Who's facing the first ball? Would it be me or this person?
You, and then who would you have with you just in case?
Okay. Cricket player.
Who's your Andrew Strauss? Probably be Finn Smith again, probably, wouldn't it?
Probably Finn, yeah. I'd say Finn again.
Okay. Attempt a rally car race. Who drives, who navigates?
Who drives, who navigates? I would say Alex Mitchell. He likes driving.
Is he?
He's into his cars, so I'd say Mitch.
Nice. Ride a tandem bicycle for 5k with?
Trevor Davidson. It would be funny to watch him.
Put him at the front,
Yeah.
expendable. Expendable.
Yeah.
Right, have you ever seen Cool Runnings?
No.
No, it's going to be wasted on you. Bobsleigh.
Jamaican bobsleigh.
Okay.
Yeah, so who would you bobsleigh with?
Who'd I bobsleigh with? Jake Garside, because he is just small.
Is he powerful?
Yeah, powerful and small.
Big arse. That bobsleigh is big, powerful. Like.
And since we started with food, we can finish with food. Who would you open a restaurant with, and what kind of restaurant would it be?
Open a restaurant with? Ruben Logan, and it would be something to do with truffle, because he has this addiction to truffle.
Is he really?
He just like grows truffle in the fridge. He has everything with truffle. So yeah, he would be good. He's a really good chef. So I'd say Ruben Logan.
Nice.
That's son of Kenny Logan, by the
Yeah.
way.
Oh, yeah. Has he got a truffle dog?
Who is enormous, by the way.
Yeah, he is big. So he likes to cook. He cooks for me most nights. So I buy the ingredients. He cooks them. So it's quite a good little combination.
Nice.
Well, listen, thank you for coming on the show. Thank you for being brave enough to come on Stick to Rugby. Congratulations on everything you've achieved in your career to date. And all the very best with the rest of the season, particularly the European Cup final and the Lions Tour.
Thank you very much.
Have you had your number yet?
Which number?
Have you had your Lions number yet?
No.
Have you had it yet?
No. And when you get that stash, honestly.
Oh. And because it wasn't until the 2001 Lions that we actually got caps. So you'll be presented with your cap now, because we didn't get caps when we went on tour. We actually, they did that a lot later. So for us, I know for me, that was so special when that came. And when you get given that cap, oh man, brilliant.
Should be good, yeah. So, but thank you for having me on. All good.
Pleasure. Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Thank you, mate.
Right, now we can eat some of this food. Come on.
Them brownies.
I know.
Yeah.
Well done.
Them brownies were great.
Thank you.
Good.
Very
All
nice.
good.